lounging, son.
Welcome back to Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan. Today I'm going to be talking about the last new comic book day haul of 2023. Before I get into this, just want to remind everybody, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Bunch of dope content on the channel. We got indie creator spotlights. We got interviews with big name creators like Todd McFarlane, Scott Snyder, artist editions, whether it's self-published comics or comics from the big publishers. We got it all here. So make sure you check out all the dope content. Hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into this episode. Now, normally with new comic books, I've gone back and forth. I would do like the weekly pull. And lately I have been just focusing in on specific issues and going through that. You know, with Manny, with the holidays and stuff, didn't have a lot of time to kind of break down as much as I would like to. But I wanted to get in, talk about some of this stuff, especially because already did the best of 2023. Make sure you check out that and some of the favorites we had for this year. But there were a couple late additions after that video was recorded, and I didn't want to miss out on that. Wanted to just briefly talk about, you know, some of the stuff I picked up this week at the shop to end the year. So I will start off with Duke. Number one, Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley, Jordi Belair. This is a book that I have been eagerly anticipating. I'm digging what Skybound has been doing with, you know, their Energon universe, which encompasses the Transformers, the G.I. Joe characters, and also Void Rivals, which is a original creation from Robert Kirkman. But Duke number one, this is going to be the G.I. Joe book, and the sister book will be Cobra Commander, and it's going to be 2 5-issue miniseries. This was phenomenal. If you don't know a lot about G.I. Joe, this is a perfect entry point, in my opinion. Beautiful book. You know, you get a little bit of backstory on Man of Action, Duke, which is, I think, is a callback to like the OG G.I. Joe figures before the 80s. So really cool to kind of see, you know, this Duke is been through some shit, and he's questioning the army because he, again, this is connected to Transformers. So, you know, they're talking about how he encountered this hostile jet, looked like one of ours, and then it transforms into this crazy robot. He's questioning everything, you know, and I love this. And he tells him his country's lying to him, and he's going to get the answers. He will know what that flying robot is, and then he's going to take it out. But really great entry point into this new connected world of the Transformers and G.I. Joe. We get Dr. Adele Burkhart, and she's kind of giving him the lowdown on all the stuff that, you know, has been hidden from them. Energon is like this energy source, and this is, you know, kind of like fighting over it, and he's going to sneak into this facility called Mars Industries, and he's going to try to figure out what's going on. You see all this technology being built. Again, just a very cool, like, espionage take on a G.I. Joe. Joshua Williamson, just brilliant. One of my favorite writers. Tom Riley is becoming one of my favorite current cartoonists. I think he's just amazing with everything he does. Little peek at Destro. And now where we see Dr. Burkhart has been attacked, and she tells him just to find the truth. I love when they use this technique where it's just like red and black. Totally sells the scene. A lot of action in here. Again, a lot of espionage, a lot of cool moments with the characters, and then we see, you know, we're gonna get some other American heroes. Stalker, Rock and Roll are gonna be on the hunt, and I don't want to give too much away with this, but Joshua Williamson writes a really dope letter about, you know, his experience with G.I. Joe, his love for the franchise, and kind of what he plans to do next. We get the Cobra Commander preview pages, which has been hailed as gonna be kind of like a horror type take, which I'm here for. And then I gotta say, this back cover, brilliant. Contents. The contents of this booklet is confidential. Unauthorized disclosure of information within is prohibited. But really great first issue. Highly recommend. Every book I'm going to talk about, I can't say enough good stuff about. This Action Comics Annual 2023. I just wanted to quickly shout this out. This is the end of Philip Kennedy Johnson's epic three-year run that started with Future State. He's just been doing such a great job. His Warworld saga, I just, you know, talked about that on my Holiday Haul episode. You know, for some of the books I got for Christmas. He's just been knocking it out of the park. He has such a good voice for Superman and the rest of the characters. I'm excited to see what's next going forward for Superman, but Philip Kennedy Johnson killed it. Great conclusion. You know, we got Bloodwind. You know, I haven't seen him since the 90s. You got Etrigan. Max Raynor did a great job on art. wraps up this really long storyline in such a great way. Fantastic ending. We get to see this other Earth, the Al Ghul Earth, which is, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but this is kind of like, you could pick this up and have a great experience reading it. I don't think you need to have read everything. You're definitely rewarded if you've read everything, but DC's been doing a great job with their Dawn of DC stuff. I haven't been this excited for DC overall as a company in quite a while. I think this initiative has been my favorite of recent memory. Just a lot of great character moments with Superman. It ends on a really high note. I love that the supporting cast has been expanded so much. It really is a family book with, Connor Kent, Supergirl, Keenan Kong, Superman, and the kids he basically adopts during the Warworld saga. But a lot of good stuff. John Kent, super fun comic book. If you haven't read his run, I highly recommend picking up that Warworld saga because it is some of the most fun I've had with Superman comic books in a long time. So go pick this up. Such a great message that he has said throughout on his Superman run, and just he gets into the core. Warworld Saga and then Return of Kal-El. Those are the two books you need to get, and then that leads into the Dawn of DC kind of run with Action Comics, which headed towards the end of his run. But go pick up that great Timeless issue. Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, Juan Cabal. Fun little tease of what's to come. This is centered a lot around Luke Cage and Danny Rand, aka Power Man and Iron Fist. And obviously anybody that knows Marvel history knows of their friendship being one of the best in comic books, their friendship. You see, this is set in the future, so we're seeing a different Earth. They worship the light of the moon and Khonshu, god of gods. Definitely a weird take on this future. And we see that Luke Cage, older, but how has he lived this long? And we see that he talks about, I breathe like Bruce taught me, focus like Reed, but nothing prepares me for the memories, like a flood, like a screaming graveyard, and for one terrible moment. Then we get all these different things of things to come, right? That are going to be taking place in the Marvel Universe. And we see that he's not the Luke Cage we remember. He's the last confessor of Sentry. He has the powers of the Sentry, the darkness powers of the Void. The blood of the Hulk flows through his veins. I have looked through the green door. I have faced the one who stares back. My resolve is made of steel, and a dragon burns in my iron fist. I am not their god. I am what he fears. I am the master of the living weapons. He's Power Man. He's got all these different, amalgamations of powers. He's fighting against this Moon Knight in the future, calling himself the Immortal Moon Knight. I'm going to spoil this, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I highly recommend you skip ahead to the next issue I'm going to talk about. Or, talks about how he bought Stark Unlimited, mastered the Eye, so he has the Eye of Agamotto. He's got this Iron Man type armor, so it's, again, just like Luke Cage has a bunch of different powers, now he has a bunch of different things combined. And it ends up being Danny Rand, who's been taken over. He's been manipulated by Khonshu. And we get some more flashes. And that's what these Timeless issues have been, kind of like little snippets of what we can expect going forward. I love this, too. Showing the different powers he has by doing the letters from the different logos. Really awesome. But get a great fight scene between the two of them. I will not spoil too much, but I will say that this was a blast to read. Some great moments between Luke Cage and Danny Rand. Really cool idea to kind of have each of them have so many different powers from the different heroes in Marvel. Yeah, really fun comic book. It's great beginning, middle, end. It's a solid issue. You get your money's worth in this one. So go check it out. This was one of my favorite series of 2023. I mentioned it before. This is the 4th issue in Cy Spurrier's run with Wally West as, the main Flash. I love this logo, by the way. I love that they used him as part of the silhouette. Mike Deodato Jr. has been great. Trish Mulville on colors has been fantastic, too. I love the family aspect of Wally. I like, something's going on with the Speed Force. Irie, his daughter, is weirded out by it. Max Mercury has disappeared at this point. Bart's looking for him as well. We get this, the different reports from the news. And Bart writing Wally a letter on, let me know if you find him. And then we're in this weird other realm. You see all the different Flash characters, these different moments that are happening. And then he's being talked to by this other character, this new character that has been created for the book. And then we flash back and we get this, I love this moment between Jesse Quick and Irie, who goes by Thunderheart. and they're both investigating what's going on. And then we see that basically speed has been turned into a drug because this Chad that was mentioned earlier in the issue, his girlfriend takes this, and then now she's got speed powers. And so as he's sitting in this world, it's called the gallery. He's talking to the entity which is called, just referred to as the Resident, right? And he asks this question, like, what lies deeper than time or space? Concept, of course. What can one truly know of the world? Only that one's perception of it exists somewhere between the senses and the mind. The rest has no place in a gallery of truth. Measurement and memory and movement, all that is untrustworthy is peeled back until all that remains is a sweet illusion of now. And so now we can see where he is. He's in this realm where the statues are what's happening in the world. And it's again, what a crazy concept. Completely different than any take I've seen on Flash. I love it. The art has been phenomenal. I love Mike Deodato. I love the way he depicts speed. Every artist kind of has their own spin on it. Great interactions between Irie and Jesse. Again, what's happening in this other realm called the guy? I don't know. And I love that. I love that it's something completely new, fresh concept. Kind of like when the Speed Force was invented by Mark Waid. And it feels like we're getting a little bit of that again. And then we see Mirror Master kind of souped up. Like, what is he doing? I think he's created this drug. And Wally comes back. He's kind of mad, but he's like, I should have been here. And he escapes that realm. And then as he's talking, he's like, Irie asks if he's okay. He's like, my mind's elsewhere. And then we see him standing much like he is there. And it's depicted in the gallery. So it's been a fun ride so far with these first 4 issues. I'm excited to see what Cy Spurrier does moving forward. I can't recommend this book enough. Go pick it up. Green Arrow, newly elevated to an ongoing series. I'm super stoked. I have been loving this. I love Green Arrow. He's one of my favorite characters in comics. Joshua Williamson has been doing an amazing job on this book, and we got Sean. Cover credits are a little inaccurate in terms of the art team because we have Carmine Dian, Domenico, and Trevor Hairsine on art, and Six wrapped up the first arc, and now we are seeing him, the different eras of Green Arrow, and he's back. He doesn't understand. Everybody else came back after, the fight in Dark Crisis. When everybody disappeared, the Justice League is back, but the Hall of Justice is gone. He's waiting for his party, and nobody's there. And he doesn't understand, where the hell is the Justice League? So now he's going to go around the DCU, and he's going to ask. And he's like, I love this. Again, this art I love Domenico's art. He did a great run with Williamson on Flash. And he's like, was it disbanded? I was like, I thought Dinah would tell you. And that's something else Williamson does great. He gets these characters down, man. His dialogue is always on point, and he does a great Ollie. A little humor here when he talks about relationships and how a healthy relationship works. And then we get this moment with Superman, and Superman's giving him the rundown on Supercorp, which is what's going on in the Superman ongoing. Asks about Amanda Waller, what's going on there, and then now we're with Wonder Woman. So basically just a trip through the DCU and his former Justice League teammates and asking what's going on, why aren't they around, and then we get some quick ones. Where's Barry? Barry's taking a break. Black Adam, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, Hawkwoman, Zatanna, the Adams, Detective Chimp, and then we get to Hal, his best bud. And then, we get some moments of talking about how Oliver has become a family man. He never thought that would happen with him. He always figured he'd be the one. And they're talking about the different sidekicks Hal Jordan could have. Super funny. And we get a great team up between them. And then he comes back to his headquarters, and we see that he's spying on all his teammates. Connor's here, his son. And he kind of says, you think this is the best thing to do? And now he's going to try to figure out what Amanda Waller's up to. And in doing that, he also is going to be on the hunt for Roy and what Roy's been up to as well. And we see that he's being spied on somebody. And I love this. I love that Onomatopoeia is back. One of my favorite characters that Kevin Smith created during his Green Arrow run. And now Williamson's bringing him back. So very excited for the future of Green Arrow. I'm so excited that they made it an ongoing. It deserves it. It's been a fun book and continues to be a fun book. And then the last new issue I picked up was Alan Scott, Green Lantern, by Tim Sheridan, Cian Tormey. This has been a great book. I love this. It's part of the... Oh, it doesn't say it here, but it's part of the new Golden Age line of books where they did the Jay Garrick Flash book. They did the Wesley Sandman book, and obviously the Justice Society 12-issue series that's taking place. I really dig this. Obviously, this is a different take on Alan Scott. You know, this is set in the past, so we're seeing a lot of him being a gay man in this time period, and where they think that, you know, there's something wrong with you and that you get put into insane asylums. Like, I don't know that much about it. I just know like a very basic knowledge of what transpired during this time. But Tim Sheridan's been doing a great job of showing the man under the mask, which I know we've seen Alan Scott under the mask a lot, but I haven't read the collections. I did pick up a couple of those facsimiles, which I haven't checked out yet, but I love this. I love the, you know, what's going on with him, and, you know, we get this great interaction between him and Jay Garrick, who have always been like best friends, in my opinion, when they were teammates. And then we get an impromptu team up with the Spectre. And this is what made this book one of my favorite books this week. Such a great interaction between them. And at the heart of this, what is really great is Spectre and his, I don't want to say necessarily his advice, but just how he kind of comforts Alan. And, you know, he obviously, seems like someone's trying to frame Alan Scott because it's people that he knows that keep dying, right? The dialogue here is just, I mean, Spectre saying, I only recently died and became an agent of the Almighty. You're not the only one dealing with identity issues. Alan's just, you know, he's like, it is about me though, isn't it? Like, all these men are dead because of me. And he says, Alan, you loved them. And Alan, look what happened because of me loving them, Alan says. What happens to people that get close to him? And then we see Dobie is a sidekick, and this new Red Lantern character is there. But this is great. I don't want to spoil some of this, but this is unbelievable. I think this might be my favorite of Tim's writing so far in all the comic books I've read of his, and I love his work. This right here, this one panel. The difference between you and those who deserve divine punishment is you stand up, you put on the ring and the cape, and you try with all your power to do good. You honor his creation every time you work to save it, Alan, and every time you choose light and love over darkness and shame. If God himself didn't want you to love, then how could you? So good. This is definitely something that I would have thrown up as at my end of year best of 2023, because this is just fantastic. And Alan's off to go hunt down who's taking out these people, and then we see that it's somebody he knows, somebody from his past. So if you haven't been reading this, I highly recommend picking it up. One of the best series DC's doing right now. A lot of fun. To wrap it up, a couple more pickups that I got. I'm not going to go through them, but a couple oldies. Adventure Comics 312 and 351. Wanted to pick up some. I was going through the back issue bin when I picked up my new comics, and I had to check these out. Future episodes? Maybe. Not sure. But what a great week for comics. A lot of great stuff came out. I'm excited for what 2024 has in store for us as comic book fans. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop new vids. And on that note, I'm out.